Hi, I'm Joe. I'm back for more. Are you back for more too? Okay, so we stopped at Libra, and if you watched, we got a little bit into Scorpio, but I wanted to redo it. And I felt like if it cut it off in the middle of Scorpio, that's a sign. We'll come back to it, right? So, here we are. We just do a couple of ruffle shuffles. Okay, for Scorpio. Let's see. How are you doing, Scorpio? Are you not sure if you're feeding the right part of yourself, if you're going in the right direction? Are you worried that maybe you're a little too guarded? Look into that now. Yeah, you have a choice to make. You're not sure if you're approaching it correctly or if your intuition's right about what's going on, so it can make things hard. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. You find yourself having to strategize because at the moment, sure, you want to chase your dreams, you want to be your authentic self, but you're not really feeling great about it. You're not feeling that passionate about whatever you're doing. Like, you're plodding along, doing the responsible thing throughout it. But your attitude might be, you might be going through a patch where you're feeling a little prickly. And all of us have that part of our authentic self also, you know? That's part of us. You're looking toward your dreams. You're looking toward your wish fulfillment here. And I think what you're worried about is your approach to it. You're not feeling passionate, so you're strategizing and you're using your mind now because you're not feeling so enthusiastic. And that could make you feel a little immature in your emotions also. It might be upsetting how you just feel about overall. I think it's making you, if not depressed, at least agitated and irritable. Part of this has to do with not being able to communicate it. Not being able to communicate it is keeping you trapped in this cycle and stopping this transformation from occurring. And this transformation is key in unlocking the door to what you really want. So you're just in a little bit of a funk right now. But you're still facing your dreams, like you still are making choices with your highest ambitions in mind. You're just not feeling great right now. You're just not feeling at your best. And that's understandable. We got that stellium in Scorpio, and then we've got this Taurus eclipse. And, you know, the nodal axis is going to be traveling through Taurus for the next year or so. It looks like you might be feeling a little cranky, but you're still staying the course. For some of you, you're just trying to keep your mouth shut if something upsets you. That could be part of your strategy. When something really upsets you and you feel a little like want to be petty, you keep it to yourself now. you want to let go of that. Like, you want to let go of anything that's going to hold you back here. But what if you were able to communicate your feelings and it helped you get to your goals here? Because to step into the star energy, you have to be your authentic self, and that means if something bothers you, you got to address that. That's conflict, and that'll be mental conflict and then emotional conflict inside if it's not. Yeah, you don't have to be petty about it or immature, and you know that. In some ways, you might be feeling like you carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. I feel like it's so hard to balance all the time. Trying to figure out where to carry this weight, like which part of you to carry this weight on, you know? While still focusing on your dreams. We're all still learning, aren't we? It's not over yet. The transformation isn't over yet. I think a missing piece to this puzzle is not only how you can control those urges to address this in a less mature way than you appreciate, might be learning to address them while holding back from the harshness that you're capable of at some time, you know. So in the beginning here, I see you strategizing and not really saying anything. If you're dealing with a Capricorn, they're showing up in the past. Maybe letting somebody go, cutting somebody off. Maybe using some harsh language towards somebody. In the present, I see you really coming into who you are and facing your dreams and learning lessons that will help you practically reach them as a student, not as, you know, you're being humble here. You're humbling yourself, and you might not always feel good because that could, the Death reverse too in the Page of Cups. I feel like it's not always easy to humble ourselves this way, is it? But I see you doing it to yourself on purpose. But maybe you can still talk about what bothers you. You don't have to go totally one way or another. Maybe it would be better to talk about it. In the future, I see you kind of not being enthusiastic about waiting for your dreams and kind of going in that direction. Maybe not feeling passionate about a thing that you've started, an idea you had, maybe a creative pursuit. Maybe thinking it's done, worrying if you could even still make this happen. It doesn't look done yet. It looks like you just have some choices to make. I could see that you don't really want to talk about your dreams very much. Maybe you're concerned that it will sabotage them. Maybe you've talked about them in the past and it's kind of backfired on you. And you're kind of scared too. I see a lot of kind of fear about expression and the right expression. And like, if I say the wrong thing, possibly even to yourself, like going in this loop, in this mind game, even with yourself, of being so scared of self-talk, negative self-talk, or talking negatively outside, you know? I think it's making it kind of fester inside, though. Yeah. It's holding you back. Because here I see the Wheel of Fortune, the Queen of Cups reversed, and the Ace of Discs reversed. That's being held back. Because by not communicating your concerns and grievances because you're scared of going too far and hurting somebody, or you're scared of manifesting the wrong thing and negative self-talk. It's kind of holding back a stable opportunity, like perhaps a creative new start with the Ace of Discs and the Ace of Wands. It's killing your passion for this. And you're still waiting for it. Like, I feel like you intuitively know it's not over yet. But now you have doubts, and it's because you're not expressing your concerns. It's okay to talk about your concerns. You're not being negative. You're addressing potential issues, and you have great intuition and insight. You have great knowledge. So if you have concerns, I think they're worth looking into. For some of you, there's a connection, possibly with somebody you recognize as a soulmate, possibly like a could be another Scorpio. You're considering leaving this situation because of the emotions involved. You think this might not work out with this person. I see also Aries. But I would suggest voicing your concerns first, constructively. Maybe it's not as dead as you think it is, Scorpio. Maybe it could still come together. Oh, and look what's under this. Oh, you're gonna love it. Look. Don't be afraid to voice your concerns. Don't be afraid to voice your concerns. All right, it's... Okay, Scorpio. It's not dead yet. It's not dead yet, and it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to address these things because it'll make your dreams come true in a more fulfilling way. Because you're being more authentic to yourself. It does look like a thing where you have to work with other people, and I feel like you're really just trying to do your best not to hurt people, because maybe you've had, or yourself, maybe you've had some instances in the past where that has happened. And you don't want to revisit that. Well, part of this lesson is making sure to voice your concerns and how you feel without going that far. And this could be an ongoing process. This could be something you visit over and over and over again. Depending on where Scorpio is in your chart and what you have in it, and in Taurus too. Let me see what else we have for you with these cards. It's gonna be okay. You could have been like accused of being too harsh sometimes too, or having your own agenda or something like that, and that's part of it too. You can trust this person. That one came out right away. Let's see if any more come out. Capricorn. Don't worry about popularity. You were right about that situation. And then distracted. So that's what I have for you, Scorpio. Okay. Now on to Sagittarius. Okay, Sag. Let's see. We got a couple more ruffles in there. Yeah, it's open a little bit. Open a little bit to let the secrets out. Okay. Don't worry. Oh, look, the moon. Don't worry, nothing's gonna get you. Okay, Saggy. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, that's a nice way to start. Okay, you're in a situation where you kind of felt left out. You kind of felt unprotected from some situations here. And you felt like you're in a position of lack. You may have felt judged and watched through that process. Oh my goodness. You know, I see the Tower, but it's hard for me to look at the Tower as totally negative when it's surrounded by such cards as the King of Pentacles, the Emperor, the Knight of Cups. But that's where you're ending here. So it could be a surprise. It could be a shocking truth that rocks the foundation of a connection, which the overall energy is kind of a connection in trouble. This does look like perhaps with a boss or something like that, or if you are a business owner. But I do see a turn in fortune where you look back at this time of lack in a whole new light, where you had to give some things up and it felt like it wasn't going to get better. In the future, because that's in the future position. I see the Emperor looking back at this in the future. After the turn of fate. I also see a situation where you might revisit a part of what made you feel so kind of left out and so kind of isolated was the trouble or loss of a connection that you felt was so deep you couldn't stop thinking about it. And could you really be stable and independent on your own from this? Well, it turns out you can, and you are. And not only that, you're able to build something so grand that you're able to bless others. And the King of Pentacles is in the future position. You're standing at the 9, which is a great place to be. But you still feel that lack. That's still hanging over your head at this minute, at this moment. And part of it has to do with that loss of the connection, those dumped cups. I think you're going to see it differently in the future, though. Because I see you coming out of it and kind of not working on that anymore. Putting that aside and moving with love. And then we come to the Tower again. So in the past, we had a turn of fortune that left you apart from a connection that was really important to you. You felt rejected. In the future, I see you coming out of that, but before, you definitely did. It's still hanging over your head, even as you're sitting there as the Nine of Pentacles, this great independent energy, this healthy, nice, stable energy. It's hard for you to enjoy that because you still have that hanging over your head. Like, they no longer want to work on this. This isn't happening anymore. This is hard. This is like, this was really important to me and other people. This was not just about me. This felt bigger than me. And to lose it felt so hard to handle and deal with that even when I'm doing okay by myself, it's still hanging over my head. So even though you have that happening still in the present, you still have that energy where, like, it doesn't feel great, even though you're doing okay. You're leading with love. There might be somebody you're thinking about apologizing to or reaching out to. There could be a connection where somebody saw you as lacking, even though you're standing in this. Like, because the way the Emperor is looking at the Five of Pentacles, and they weren't being generous with you. They were looking away from your Nine of Pentacles energy and looking at you as the Five. And that might be a rude awakening that they might have to see. Yeah, this looks like a troubled connection and also an internal struggle. This kind of looks like somebody coming up and somebody refusing to look at it as such. They refuse to see you in your light. And it has something to do with control. Oh yeah. But don't worry, what's coming is abundance. It's the Nine of Pentacles, it's gain. It's lust for life. So go ahead and live this if you need to. I mean, just because somebody else can't get over this idea of you being in the Five of Pentacles doesn't mean you have to hold on to that as your own story, you know? Because you're standing here and the future's looking bright. And when you get here, you're going to do it with generosity. This is your story. You hold the pen. When I pulled more cards just to get a better understanding of it, I got the Three of Cups, which is a celebration, the Nine of Discs, and lust. I wouldn't be too concerned. Because these cards don't, not even just like, even the obvious buzzwords that I just gave you are one thing. But it's not just a financial gain. It's also coming at it with compassion, love, and wanting to help others. I mean, because you got the Mercury Cancer, speaking with love and caring, nurturing, like, and then you got Venus and Virgo. Like, sure, I'm independent and okay and stable and practical. Both of these suggest being interested in sharing that with others. Those are beautiful placements. And then here we see you as lust. Just enjoying it, just basking in it, and actually feeling good about life. Look how she's holding in her hand, like. And the green of that just reminds me of the Nine of Pentacles and that caring, nurturing way of standing in practicality. Like, I am love and I hold this. I am love and passion. I am the fire of life and I hold this growth, this practical growth that I can use to help people. Cool. You know, that's great. Okay, I just want to get one more to talk about the Tower, because the Tower could be a scary card sometimes. Okay, the Tower could have something to do with a family issue. I'm seeing mother and child. I could see a shakeup in a family situation. It could stem from that Five of Pentacles energy, that feeling of lack, that are my needs met? From being in your head about it. But there's still love in this situation, don't worry. It's gonna be okay. Because even when even at the worst of it, even in the worst times, you could still expect there to be love. You could still expect the love to show up here. Sorry, Saggy. Okay. So, unfortunately, I do see a motherhood wound opening up, and there's nothing you could really do about it but take the lesson, which is not easy. And instead of becoming bitter and letting it stay over your head like that, the feeling of lack and rejection, understand that you aren't completely in control of this situation. And even if it's not reciprocated, there's still love in it. There's still a cup in it. Even when it feels the worst, even when the worst happens, there's still love in it. And it's not always anybody's fault. There are outside factors that, nothing happens. It's funny to say nothing happens in a vacuum, and then we're existing in a vacuum. Our little planet in a vacuum of space, right? But as far as our social interactions and love and stuff like that, that doesn't happen in a vacuum. So at the end of the month, I do see you facing some kind of wound, some kind of mother-child wound. It's unavoidable. It's a shocking truth. It opens up that possible feeling of lack and rejection. It's painful. It's a lesson you don't feel like you deserve to face, or feel unprepared to face. You may feel like your needs are unmet and you're feeling scattered at that time. But I pulled some of these cards also, and I have gain, childhood friend, contract, ooh, intentionally taking your resources, doesn't care how it affects you, and music. Okay, don't worry about popularity, keeps coming up. So, be generous, but don't let yourself be taken advantage of. You also have black hair and embarrassed. So there could be somebody with black hair feeling embarrassed, or feeling embarrassed about a situation. Is that happening? I'm really sorry that you're facing that kind of tower. It doesn't look like you can really prevent it, like it has to happen. And that could be really hard to say, because some things happen that are just unjustifiable. Like, to say that could seem so insensitive sometimes, and somebody say like going through some real loss, that how do you even come to grips with how, because with the tower, it's hard to say how that's going to come out. But there's always going to be love there. Somebody might offer, even at the worst of the tower, there's always going to be a gesture of love coming after. Okay? And that's what I have for you, Saggy. Okay, Capricorn. Oh, Cappy, do you have some secrets? Yeah. You have some secrets you're not feeling good about having? Okay, well, you're showing up with the star, so that's good. Okay, I want to get some ruffles out. So this could be about your wish fulfillment and your authentic self. Kind of being true to yourself. Kind of the naked truth of who you are and what you really want revealed. Okay. If you're dealing with an Aquarius, there they are. Yeah, the moon keeps wanting to come out. Feeling confused if you could keep doing this. Can I even keep doing this? This feels really heavy. Some of you might also be having issues with like drinking. That could be it too, because we got the Devil reversed here, we got the Ten of Wands, and we've got this Cups here. Okay. Yeah. Something doesn't feel right to you. It could be in a situation that involves other people too, at least 2 other people who you care about. Someone might be younger than you. You might be thinking of letting go of this situation. Somebody might be learning to let go. This might be the process of taking off all of that stuff. Taking off all of that stuff that covers you practically and intellectually, and becoming the star. And that might include some relationships. Letting go of some relationships that kind of bind you to a certain way of being, a certain lifestyle, a certain way of thinking and going about, like, habits. Because it's not fair to you. You can't rest. You can't. It's keeping you stuck in turmoil, in mental, emotional turmoil, financial turmoil. Something about this is just not working. And you're having a hard time focusing on a solution, but you know something has to change. Something needs to balance out here, is what you're thinking. By the end of the month, I see you coming out of that disappointment with a celebration. There's going to be a celebration. This could be around the time before, too. Where you start letting go, and this could be happening through this moon cycle of letting go of the things that kind of are holding you in this place of financial and intellectual and practical turmoil. Kind of shedding that skin and moving forward naked as your authentic self to go towards your dreams. Coming out of that disappointment and facing the unknown. Maybe too scared to take a step forward. That could be another thing, the fear of the unknown. Is keeping you stuck in the same place with all the trappings. In the past, I see you working on being true to yourself here, and maybe not doing the best financially, but feeling emotionally fulfilled in a lot of ways. At the moment, I see you becoming kind of scattered, not knowing which practical direction to choose, but knowing that you have to take action to come out of this disappointment. And in the future, I see you putting an action into plan, putting a plan into action. Look at that scattered. Putting a plan into action where you kind of start taking off even more layers to get to where you need to go. That's kind of making this a little lopsided and traveling into the unknown. Something about this might not seem fair, but it's because not all of it is showing on the surface. Like, there's something to it that's still hidden, So it doesn't look balanced yet. It doesn't look balanced to like practically. Like I'm hearing it like to a penny pincher. But there's something hidden here that has not. But really, the thing that isn't fair is how mentally and intuitively stuck you have been, stuck in this rut, this scattered rut. You have to make a move forward, and it means kind of shedding some layers. I hope this makes sense to you, Capricorn, because I feel like it's all over the place. Yeah, you're completing a cycle here. And it might seem, I know you're a cardinal sign too, so taking initiative doesn't always seem that bad, but it might be a more abrupt style than you're used to. And having to use that approach to closing off a cycle may seem unfair to you. But you have to come out of your head about it. You're scared it would seem manipulative. To do it this way. Like it seems too forward while also being too but at the same time, the action you take to move forward is an offer of love. So what if the advice is to just move with love? While closing this cycle off and coming out of your head. This could have to do with, I see the Six of Swords and the Four of Wands. This could have to do with moving. Closing off one cycle and afraid to move into the unknown of the other. Holding off and that kind of stalling your plans. Because the communication that the magician needs to move this forward is an offer of love, a substantial offer of love that has so far been held back. But at the end of the month, I see the waters flowing. Something turns that key that helps you get out of your mind and back into your heart with the people around you. And ready to make that move. Something wakes up your heart. Sorry about that. I was just looking at the cards. I'm looking at the moon and the star. The unknown and who you are shining bright. Things not revealed and just standing naked in it, you know? The waters must flow. And I see the end of the month kind of moving the tide. You may be holding back from a fire sign. Okay, so I'm going to pull some of these for you, Capricorn. Oh gosh. Dinner. Yeah. Time to trust the scientific research for the answer. Okay, so this fell on the Three of Cups. Dinner, other parent, it probably won't work out this time. Aries, older than you. They don't understand your situation or how you feel. So not everybody's going to understand the moves you have to make. At the top here I have hang on to this feeling. And it has a star on it too. Okay, Cappy, that's what I have for you. You're looking at all your options. And it looks kind of heavy. Thinking about ending something hurts your heart. But I see you having to move ahead anyway. Even if you don't want to have that conversation. Okay. So now Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. Hopefully things are looking up from last time. Get a couple more ruffles out. Looks like some of you have been working on trying to get yourself to the top of a mountain and defend that position. Yes, the Emperor. This could be about financial security. Oh, making head over heart decisions. Because you were hurt before. Kind of holding back too. Oh, goodness. Okay, well, I see a transformation occurring in you. If there was a business partnership you left before, you might come back to it. You may be considering holding back from a partnership as well. Either you want to come back or you're juggling the ideas of maybe leaving it and thinking about making a head over heart decision, letting go of something. So you climb up that mountain. With the Three of Swords and the Queen of Swords reversed, I feel like you are possibly thinking about cutting somebody off. Because the weight of the situation has become too heavy to carry. And so now you sit in a space of letting go. How much should I let go? Who should I let go? To get rid of this heartache. Much like Capricorn, I see you trying to just drip off whatever you can and ascend, like, because underneath what's supporting it is the Magician, but you yourself are coming up as the Ten of Wands reversed, letting go, and all around you is letting go of heartache, letting go of kind of penny pinching and holding on to your finances, very tight-fisted, letting go of emotions. So usually with the Magician, you see them gathering all the tools to manifest something. I see you trying to manifest by letting go of everything. Pentacles, swords, cups. Because you found that that's the key for you, right? And that might seem harsh sometimes. But to get to that top of the mountain, I think you might be willing to live with that. Feels kind of like the Phoenix. Because here we got the Death card. The whole energy is transformation. And it seems that you're very aware of that. You want control of your life. And you're not just content with being the Emperor anymore. You want to move to being the Hierophant. And I see you cutting off a lot to transform and get there. For some of you, this could be a spiritual practice. And maybe some people around you just don't even understand. They don't understand why you're not giving to them. They don't understand why you don't want to partake in some of these things anymore. You're letting go. Aquarius. Sorry. This is something you're intentionally doing. This is a death that they have never experienced. This is a death they don't understand. This is a transformation that you need to be in charge of, that you need to make for yourself. You want to get to a higher spiritual, but to do that, a lot of this needs to just, you can't take it with you. So in the past, I see you kind of running things. If something goes wrong, you can handle it, no matter what it is. If you get your heart broken, you get through it. If you have to make head over heart decisions, you do that. If you have to cut people off, you do it. In the present, I see you questioning some of the things you had to leave behind because they were too heavy to carry. But knowing that what you're manifesting is important. It's important for your growth, for who you are. And this is a spiritual process. Like, I don't think this is just some light thing. Something big is going on here, and it's very personal for you. And in the future, I see you kind of turning in while also letting go. Letting go of more practical matters. And, you know, I got the King of Pentacles reversed, and I got the Four of Pentacles reversed, but the Hierophant is upright. So letting go of material things, either because you are made to, but I think with the Magician, this is talking more about you're making yourself do it for this death process. This is like a planned death process. Not necessarily physical death, but some of you can be facing that as well. And here's the Hierophant. Knight of Discs. Death. Yeah, this is a process of death that you feel guided to. Okay, this is intense. For some of you, you might be quitting a job even. You might be letting go of a job, a house, a position. Letting go of some stability, some kind of power it gave you is something you feel like you have to let go for your soul to really light up. That's part of this process. To come out of it. And to some, it could feel like a betrayal. It could feel manipulative and upsetting because they're attached to you in ways that hurts. And you see that, and sometimes you think about turning around. But there's a bigger picture here, and you know you have to kind of come back as the Phoenix. And to do that, you have to let a lot go. Okay, Aquarius. But I see you ending with a Hierophant, and that's not bad news, right? Dinner. Aries, that's from Capricorn. Okay. Letting things go. Letting kind of some practical matters go as well. Ooh, they feel violent towards you. Somebody could feel so upset that you're letting something go. You have more say than you know. Build up your boundaries. Brother. You were right about that situation. Distracted. Pisces. They want to come back. The other woman. Sagittarius, your ex. Working together on this problem. Invested in the outcome. That's what I have for you, Aquarius. Okay, next we have Pisces. Okay, Pisces. Could be a disappointing message that feels like a betrayal. Hate to start out that way, but as I shuffle, I kind of look at. Okay, let me get some ruffles in there, Pisces. Something may have ended. You wish something was going, you had wished it was going to turn out something a different way, but it did not. Oh, the Tower. You may be feeling like your needs weren't met. Something you thought was protected is being let go of. Oh, gosh. And you're looking within for the answers. You're kind of taking this situation in and watching it burn. Really interesting the way that Lust is looking at the Tower. You're looking at this shocking truth and holding in you the wisdom about how to regrow from this after something has been cut back. Turning a misfortune into something you could work with in that way. Oh yeah, you're ending well. You're ending on a good note here. Becoming your own spiritual guide through this is turning your fortune. Leaving the rubble and looking within, connecting with Source, leaving the pentacles behind that you've worked so long, so hard for, in search of the cups and the inner light. Valuing that connection more than what you see in front of you. Knowing that you can grow whatever you need to. You have it within you. No matter what kind of shocking shakeups you face. No matter how depressed and upset and how am I going to make this work. No matter what kind of shadows are revealed. No matter if you don't know how you're going to move forward or what's in the dark in front of you. It's that inner light that pushes you forward. And it's that inner light that shows you the way and reveals what makes you happy and what your real gifts are, what your gifts are. A shocking truth sure has rocked this foundation and you're just looking at it. You've seen this a lot. You've seen this a bunch of times. You've been through situations where you had to let go of your stability this much. You're just looking at it now. And sure, it could be like a trauma response. But it's also, like, what I keep on focusing on, the way she's looking at it. She's looking at this Tower situation and carrying with her this. Right? Her inner light, her very lust for yes, lust for life is carrying through the wisdom of that. Knowing your inner light is what shows you the way. Even when, see, the Tower showing up with the Eight of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles not at their best, right? They're overturned. So this is rocked stability. You've been here before. And you know to rely on your inner light and intuition, even when it feels bad. Because that's what's going to guide you. And for some of you, some of the people are looking to you. Because not only are you having to do this for yourself, you're having to do this for those around you. Some people expect you to show them the way through this darkness too. Perhaps family members with the Ten of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. And I think you're going to turn it out. People, after something happens, might be looking to you to guide them through to safety after something rocks the stability. And you're going to do it. You're going to succeed. But you've had to do it before, and you know it's possible, even if it upsets you greatly. It's important that you move with, take initiative towards your dreams for this situation in a virtuous way, because I'm seeing that card come up too. Even when you're feeling out of sorts and not well, be sure to act in an upright way. Be virtuous, be fair. Make ethical judgment calls, because if you don't, you might miss some important opportunities or delay them. How you move through this matters. You're looking at your options and you're very up in your head about it. None of them look great. It's all very confusing, but you've been here before. So you're strategizing. You need to come out of this. It all seems very unfair, but again, you've been here before. It's not the swords that gets you out. And from what you've experienced, you know it's not the swords that get you out of these situations. It's your inner light and your will to go on. Your will to move forward. In the face of adversity, in the face of rock stability. It's your passion and your light and your love that moves you forward and moves you into another situation where you lead others to safety. And you may feel alone in this process. You may feel like you're guiding everybody else who's guiding you. You're holding back on a way out. You're holding back on a plan on a way out because it doesn't sit right. There's a way out of this oppressive situation, but to do it this way doesn't feel good. So you're going to look for new opportunities. So in the past, I see you getting this shocking news, this shocking situation, looking at it and just like, whoa, okay. Looking at it like it were an explosion. But knowing you have in your hand the ability to grow something new someplace else. It just takes your intuition and own a willingness to move forward. So the wheel turns. This whole situation had to turn around and you had no control over that. You had to move on. In the present, I see you could be leaving a situation, leaving something you've worked really hard for, a house you've stayed in a long time. a situation you put a lot of care and nurturing into that not only protected you, but protected those around you. And going off on your own and being the kind of inner light in this situation. And I see you continuing to do so in the future. People will be looking to you in the future. And while you're leaving the Pentacles behind, you're taking with you the Ten of Cups. So it's also kind of an ending card. It's also like the end of an end of that cycle. A cycle possibly to do with family or emotional fulfillment. But, you know, you're carrying a lot of that with you. You're carrying those emotions with you. What you've learned from that in your memories. You're going to use that. You're going to use that to help you build in the future. And in the future, I see you letting go of, again, some of the more tangible assets you have and holding on to your power to lead and guide others through the darkness of the moon, through some of the worst fears. Nobody knows how to move forward like you do in this situation. And you're going to follow through. You're going to do it. You got the Ten of Cups. You got the Wheel of Fortune. You got the Hierophant. This looks good for that. Pisces. In a way, the way you deal with this, so long as you do it in a virtuous way that people can still look up to you, it could raise your position. Okay, so let's pull some of these for you, Pisces. It's heavy, but I see you taking initiative, taking the lead. Not really because you want to, just because that's what you do. That's just what you do. You didn't really have a choice in the matter. It's just managing as best you can at this point. You're dealing with a Virgo, or a Taurus, or a Scorpio, I see them. What do we have for Pisces? Distracted. Aries moon. Bully. Like a battle-torn country, unify for answers. Kind of split on something here. So fucking angry is one card here. And then I also have, you're gonna come out of this just fine. So that's that, Pisces. See you next time.